what makes Mel Gibson the legend that he is?
I think he's insane. I think he's always been insane.
Right.
I think that but it was kind of enjoyably insane, and that he had a great combination of humor, but physicality.
I want to ask you, anyone who sees the title John Wick, what should they expect? Where is this set? Should, people who have not seen the trailer yet, will they see John Wick? Do you want to explain to them when this story comes?
Yeah, this story takes place in the 70s. It's a prequel to the John Wick movie. So they will not see John Wick. Right. They will see Winston and Sharon and sort of the younger versions of those characters. And it's kind of the entry point. It's the story of Winston taking over the Continental.
Right. Guys, thank you so much for your time, and it was a pleasure to be watching it and hearing you guys yesterday. I was the one who asked you the question about why a web series and why on Prime have they given you all the box office money. So just for our audience to understand, why a web series and not a film, because we see there's so much box office potential.
It was always going to be planned as a TV series,
Okay.
8 to 10 hours. Primarily because if you look at the structure of films, especially our films,
right.
there's such velocity in the storytelling.
Right.
There's never time to stop. John's either chasing somebody or John is being chased.
Right.
And we introduce all these characters and ideas and themes, but we kind of fly through them. Right. We thought with the advantage of television, we have a little bit more oxygen to explore some of these ideas, themes that we couldn't do in the film.
Right.
So our original intent was an 8 to 10, 6 to 8 hour series, only until we got an idea from the chairman of Lionsgate to make it a 3-night film event, just to kind of set it apart from all the other content that's out there.
Right.
Only until then we were always expecting, like, again, the 6 to 8 hours, but that idea kind of broke the structure for us, because at the end of the day, Albert, Eric, and myself were movie people, and as soon as we were allowed to make 3 different movies, things kind of fell into place. And by that time, all the deals were done, and we were going to be on a platform. So
wow.
I'm very flattered that people think when they see it, they're like, "Oh, you could have released that in the theaters," because we made those 3 nights with the same discipline as we did a film.
Right. I want to ask you, anyone who sees the title John Wick, what should they expect? Where is this set? Should, people who have not seen the trailer yet, will they see John Wick? Do you want to explain to them when this story comes?
Yeah, this story takes place in the 70s. It's a prequel to the John Wick movie. So they will not see John Wick. Right. They will see Winston and Sharon and sort of the younger versions of those characters. And it's kind of the entry point. It's the story of Winston taking over the Continental.
Right.
And it's exciting and action-packed and, has all the beauty and intrigue and interesting casting as well as the movies do.
Right.
Yeah, I think there are movies, there's a phrase is called, there are movies that are, you eat your spinach, which is it means it's important, work. And then there are movies that are just fun, or TV shows that are just there to entertain and be fun. We're there just to be entertaining and fun.
Right.
And so with the same kind of roller coaster ride you take on the films, you'll just be on a different roller coaster, but with the same emotions on the TV show.
Right. What was it about New York in the 70s and before that, that underworld flourished, they still make the best stories?
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I love 70s in New York.
Same.
I think the characters and the wardrobes are ostentatious and over the top. I think it was lawless back then,
right.
and so it was a bit of the Wild West.
Right.
And it's also interesting to see New York before it became like the fancy New York that we see now.
Yeah.
Even when I was growing up in the late 70s and early 80s, if you went to the Lower East Side or the Meatpacking District of Brooklyn, you'd probably be stabbed. Now it's like the most expensive real estate in Manhattan. And so I think to see it before all that stuff happened and also there's something about the New York characters. They're profane and funny and rough. It's an ethnic melting pot.
Right.
That everybody's there. All great recipes for really vibrant, fun storytelling.
Right. Do you think we still have the bad boy obsession? We love seeing bad boys.
I think so. I mean, I watch the show and I think, Frankie is one of the most compelling characters.
Yeah. Whoever wants to answer, what makes Mel Gibson the legend that he is?
I think he's insane. I think he's always been insane.
Right.
I think that but it was kind of enjoyably insane, and that he had a great combination of humor, but physicality
Right.
and intensity, but you always felt that there was something there. There was something incredibly active and wild,
Right.
in behind those eyes.
Wow.
And I think that people never knew where those eyes and that person would take you.
Right.
And so it was exciting. It was exciting to see where he would go as a movie star.
Right.
But he's also, he's when I say he's insane, I mean that in a filmic way.
Of
I
course,
don't mean
right.
like in a personal way.
Yeah.
In a filmic way.
Right.
You just don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
And I think it keeps people off balance. And I think that's what people like him.
Right. That's very well put. My last question is, if John Wick was your friend, what's the one advantage that you would take?
Oh, he would be my security. I'd have carte blanche to do whatever.
Right. You?
There are a number of people, including one person in particular with ginger hair that haunts me, that I would have killed. And I would ask John to do it gently, and to make sure that they didn't suffer. But I think that I would either employ John's services, or I would tell people
Right.
that I have John Wick in my side, so people would treat me much better than they do.
You are very kind.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's nice
Nice
meeting you.
meeting you.